The top stories GERD is a monumental shift in energy landscape and geopolitical dynamics in the globe. And Faye supporters arrive in Dakar ahead of his inauguration as Senegalese 5th president. Hello and welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism, with the latest news highlights of the hour. I am Tabitha John. To stay with us. Prosperity Party, PP, and the Communist Party of China, CPC, underscored the need for further strengthening relations between the two parties. Prosperity Party Public and International Relations Head Adi Swaraga and Secretary of the Communist Party of China, Ningxia Regional Committee, Liang Yangchun, held discussions on Tuesday. In their discussions, the PP and CPC have reached an agreement to lift the relation to new heights and enter into practical actions through training and exchange of experiences. As a result, they emphasized that the relations between the two parties should be further consolidated. The discussion also stressed the need for establishing linkage between institutions of the two parties to build the capacity of party members and leaders. Moreover, the Prosperity Party and the Communist Party of China have agreed on issues that will increase the flow of investment in construction of infrastructure and national economic capacity in the areas of investment, as well as other sectors like construction, mining, agriculture, and ICT. Executive Director of the Institute of Foreign Affairs, IFA, Jafar Badru, held discussions with Amit Gilbayaz, the Director of East African Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Israel, and Timer Barlavi, the Chargé d'Affaires from the Embassy of Israel. The meeting was primarily focused on identifying common interests and exploring avenues for collaboration in various areas, such as diplomatic training, capacity building, research partnerships, conference hosting, and policy dialogues. Furthermore, both parties expressed their keen interest in working together on joint research projects or academic activities related to international relations or specific regional issues. They also highlighted their commitment to strengthening bilateral relations and promoting mutual understanding as key points of discussion during the meeting, per IFA. The ambassador of Spain to Ethiopia, Guillermo Lopez Maclellan, affirmed that his country's commitment to bolstering support for Ethiopia's health sector plan remains unwavering. During the deliberations between the health minister and Spanish delegation led by Ambassador Maclellan, both parties delved into ways to enhance and perpetuate ongoing efforts within the health sector. Health Minister Megadas emphasized the substantial role played by Spanish partners in fortifying healthcare services in Ethiopia, expressing gratitude for their invaluable contributions. On his part, Ambassador Maclellan remarked that their collaboration with the ministry has led to a tangible result in Ethiopia's health sector, elevating the quality of services provided. 90% of the Spanish government's assistance to Ethiopia's health sector is said to be designated for the rehabilitation of institutions in areas affected by conflict. Moreover, Ambassador Maclellan announced a strategic focus on prioritizing the training of healthcare personnel, advancing maternal and women's health initiatives, and addressing healthcare challenges related to climate change.
At the former King Abba Jafar's palace. He ascended to the throne in 1878, and the whole Gima region was described in 1897 as one of the three richest and most industrial settlements in the region. And that is because this entire area is extremely fertile and many different trade routes all converged and went in and out of Gima. We're going to wait for the guide to tell us more. This is the main building, and I know he had constructed several different outbuildings.
Place a watch tower.
That makes sense. 2 flights up.
Okay, the watch tower for soldiers. It is the corridor is coming the enemy the control place.
It's Kafar.
Yeah.
This side is
From north Limmu Gate. North Limmu Gate.
Limugut.
Limmu Gate. Yeah, the Limmu country around for this area.
Welcome back. After 13 years, 95% of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project has reached completion so far. This signals a monumental shift in the region's energy landscape and geopolitical dynamics in Africa. Goshu Meliso reports.
Ethiopia is building one of Africa's biggest dams on the Nile River in Benishangul Gumuz State, Guba, near the Sudan border. The construction of the dam was started in April 2011 with 8 billion Ethiopian birr or $5 billion worth. The dam covers 1,680 square kilometers and is projected to generate 5,150 megawatt. People from all walks of life are financing the dam, and the project financing has reached 163 billion birr. Now the grid has started generating power with 375 megawatt of electricity. As the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam grid project inches closer to completion, Ethiopia stands on the brink of a transformative moment, acknowledging the significant implications it holds for the region. 13 years since its inception, the ambitious endeavor stands at 95% completion, signifying a remarkable milestone in Ethiopia's journey towards energy independence and economic prosperity. However, this journey has not been without its challenges, particularly concerning the negotiation process with downstream nations, primarily Egypt and Sudan. The construction of the dam on the Blue Nile has been a source of tension, with Egypt and Sudan expressing concerns over potential impacts on their water supply. The negotiation process has been protracted and at times contentious, as each country seeks to secure its interests while balancing the needs of its neighbors. Ethiopia, on the other hand, argues that the grid poses no significant harm to downstream countries. Pointing to the lack of adverse effects during the 13-year construction period, Ethiopia asserts its commitment to equitable and reasonable water utilization, emphasizing the need for all riparian nations to benefit from the Nile resources. Despite a decade of trilateral negotiations between Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt, a resolution remains elusive. Egypt clings to colonial-era agreements that exclude Ethiopia from the decision-making process, while Ethiopia insists on a new framework that reflects the realities of the 21st century. In Ethiopia, over 65 million people lack access to electricity. The grid represents more than just a dam. It is a lifeline for a brighter future. For decades, communities have lived in dark, their potential stifled by the absence of reliable energy. The completion of the grid promises to change that, offering hope to millions and paving the way for economic empowerment and social development. Furthermore, the grid has the potential to serve as a source of cooperation rather than conflict among neighboring countries. Through power integration and regional cooperation, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan can work together to harness the Nile's resources sustainably, ensuring equitable access to water and energy for all parties involved.
In every country, especially in African countries, population is increasing at a very rapid rate. Together with it, there's also urbanization. More and more people are coming to urban areas. And if you just and then comes climate change, all right? So if you combine all this, what does it mean? Increase in water demand, increase in energy demand, in food demand. We need to address those, all right? So the Ethiopian government has ambitious infrastructure development activities over the last decades, for example, which has made definitely visible on the ground. The GERD is one example, but it's not only GERD. We had several other projects which are being implemented to address all those.
By fostering collaboration, the GERD could pave the way for a new era of stability and prosperity in the region. 13 years have elapsed since the inception of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam project. Today marks a significant milestone as the construction of the dam reaches 95% completion. Anticipation mounts as authorities indicate that the project is on track for finalization by next year.
And finally, analysts had expected the election to go into a second round of voting, given if no candidate could secure more than 50% of the vote. But Faye came through with a surprise win in the first round with 54% of the votes. His supporters arrived in Dakar ahead of his inauguration as Senegalese 5th president. Shagao Yamato has more from Africa News.
Supporters of Bassirou Diomaye Faye arrived at the Abdou International Conference Center in Damoundou, just outside Dakar, ahead of his inauguration as Senegal's 5th president on Tuesday.
No one could have predicted what happened. This situation is the first time in Senegal that an opposition candidate rises to power with over 50%. No doubt, no appeal. It's an exceptional situation.
He is popular among Senegalese youth who see him as a change from years of rule by political class that was largely considered out of touch with young people's aspirations.
A new day begins in Senegal. The youth have waited for this. People fought to create a change so that we could elect a future president who is young, thank God. Thank you to the Senegalese people who fought. This day also makes us think about the young people who we lost, those who were killed. We hope they're welcomed in paradise.
Analysts have expected into a second round of voting, given if no candidate could secure more than 50% of the votes. But Faye came through with a surprise win in the first round with 54% of the votes.
You're watching ABC World, a reminder of the top stories. GERD is a monumental shift in energy landscape and geopolitical dynamics in the globe. And Faye supporters arrive in Dakar ahead of his inauguration as Senegalese 5th president. That's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha John. Thank you for watching. Have a great time and do take care.